Yo, what is going on, everyone? My name is Nick, or the Notorious Fantasy, and in today's video, we are going to be doing a 2021 NFL mock draft with trades. Now, free agency is near. Now, obviously, it's not going to end because people can get picked up all throughout the months, but we're approaching the point where a lot of the big names have been signed. These guys have found their homes, and it makes it much more clear how the NFL draft is going to go down in April. Now, obviously, moves past here, guys like James Conner have not been signed. There's a couple running backs, Leonard Fournette, who have not been signed, and I draft a running back to that spot, and then they end up bringing that guy in, then boom, that pick is essentially irrelevant. So make sure you guys check out my mock drafts all the way until draft day, because I'll probably post one draft day morning with my final thoughts before the NFL draft, and obviously things change as moves end up happening. So before we get into this, I'd like to ask if that at any point inside this video you end up having a great time, you end up enjoying it, please make sure to hit that subscribe button down below. Not only is it free, I put out content every single day surrounding around fantasy football, NFL, and the NFL draft, so I'd really appreciate it if you can do that, and you're going to appreciate it too, because you're going to have a great time with me every single day. So let's get into it. Again, 32 team, obviously, NFL draft for the first round, but not all 32 teams have their first pick, and I'm looking at you, the LA Rams, who probably don't have a first pick until 2030. So let's get into it. We begin, obviously, with the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm not sure if I said it or not, but this video will include trades because I want to move some teams around to fit how I feel the draft is going to go down. So we begin with the Jacksonville Jaguars, and here it is a no-brainer with Trevor Lawrence, quarterback of the Clemson Tigers. To me, there is no doubt about this. This is a no-doubter. It's one of those, like in the MLB, when the guy hits the ball off of his bat, and you know that thing is gone. He flips his bat before it's even getting near the wall. It's just over. It's just done. This pick is guaranteed. There is no way that the Jaguars mess this up and pick like Trey Lance here at the #1 overall pick. I'm not saying Trey Lance is bad, but you have to go with Trevor Lawrence. If you are the Jaguars, this is the safest pick maybe ever. People are saying he is the best quarterback prospect to come since Mr. Andrew Luck came out to the NFL. While I'm not too sure that's necessarily true, Trevor Lawrence is very good. Andrew Luck was very good, so it makes sense. I think Trevor Lawrence fits very good here as the Jacksonville Jaguars starting quarterback, but sadly for Gardner Minshew, this will end the potential of him being the starting quarterback, but maybe he gets traded, so I do like Trevor Lawrence here, obviously going to the Jacksonville Jaguars, a no-brainer pick. And #2, the New York Football Jets are up, and to me, my mind has been made on this scenario. The New York Football Jets are not going to, in my opinion, stick with mono man Sam Darnold. I think his time is done. I think he's going to end up going to another team, maybe the Patriots, maybe the Bears. They tell Andy Dalton he's the starting quarterback, and then they pull the rug out from underneath him. Boom, you're no longer the starting quarterback. Mono man Sam is in there. I don't know necessarily, but I feel like Sam Darnold is going to get moved. I doubt he gets traded for a first-round pick, to be honest, so that shouldn't affect the draft, but it will affect the draft choice of the Jets. I don't think they select Penny Sewell here, which was definitely a move that I thought of earlier on in the offseason. Now I'm 100% sold on this pick being Zach Wilson or Justin Fields. Now, if you guys notice on the screen, Trey Lance has skyrocketed directly to Mars on the draft board. He went from being like the 9th, 10th guy, I believe that was ranked on here. Now he is #4, and that's because this guy is a freak athlete. He rushed for over 1,000 yards. He threw 7 million touchdowns, not sure the exact number, didn't throw a single interception in 2019. He is very, very, very fucking good, and I believe that there's a reason why he's been talked up this much, but to me, it's between Wilson and it is between Mr. Justin Fields of the Ohio State University. Shout out to the Ohio State University for losing to Oral Roberts in March Madness, everyone. Hopefully, you guys know what I'm talking about here if you guys watch college sports. So, at 2, I'm sold in on the Jets drafting Zach Wilson here. Now, again, if they pick Justin Fields, would I be surprised? No. I think there are more fans of Zach Wilson personally. I'm the bigger fan of Zach Wilson. I personally just see a little bit more like being able to read the defense. That's just how I see it. Now, again, I could be completely wrong. Zach Wilson could suck complete cock in the NFL, and Justin Fields could be amazing. I think both these guys are going to be very good. I think Justin Fields is in a better scenario if he's able to sit for a year than get jolted directly into the lineup. Personally, Now, again, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's just the fact that the play call is, hey, this guy's going to be open. You know Chris Olave is going to be wide open. So, boom, you drop back. You're staring at him. He's open regardless. Bam, touchdown. It doesn't fucking matter. Now, that could be a thing as well. I think Justin Fields is an extremely athletic quarterback who is going to be able to do it at the next level in the NFL, but I think the Jets here lean with BYU quarterback Zach Wilson at 3. My Miami Dolphins are up. Now, personally, if this is my pick, I go with Penei Sewell, offensive tackle out of Oregon. He is looked at as a franchise tackle, looked up as the #1 guy in the draft, pretty much undisputed, at least in my opinion. I don't really see how people think the other guys are better. Now, again, people will say that Rashawn Slater out of Northwestern is better, but in my opinion, he is not. But I do think that my Dolphins are going to go ahead and select another pass catcher. Obviously, we brought in Will Fuller in free agency, but to me, that does not close the door on this pick, and I'm going to select Ja'Marr Chase, wide receiver of the LSU Tigers. This guy is fucking amazing. He set all types of SEC records in 2019, opted out in 2020, but it does not matter at all because the guy is a freak of nature, and he's going to be able to catch the ball at the next level, hopefully slung from my boy Tua Tagovailoa. At number 4, the Atlanta Falcons are up here, and I think this is where Justin Fields comes off the board in a perfect scenario. Now, I understand that the Falcons have quarterback here, at least on here, as the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th need on their team. To me, I think they're a little bit done with Matt Ryan. I don't think Matt Ryan is done as an NFL quarterback, but I think after this year, he's done as the Atlanta Falcons quarterback. I still think he has enough gas left in the tank for a couple more seasons on a different team, but here, the time is done for him after this year, so I think they do end up drafting Justin Fields in the perfect scenario, like I talked about earlier, where Fields gets to sit behind for 1 year, obviously, and then he gets molded into the Greek god that he will be at the next level. At number 5, the Cincinnati Bengals are up on the board here, and now the perfect pick has fallen directly into their hands. Obviously, they lost AJ Green, but to me, that does not mean all that much. They lost John Ross. They have other guys behind T. Higgins and Tyler Boyd, so I don't think personally they should draft a wide receiver. Now, obviously, if Chase is here, there's definitely going to be Joe Burrow calling up the GM, calling up the coach, calling up the owner, and being like, bring in my boy. Me and fucking Ja'Marr Chase were balling. Won the Natty in 2019 together. I love Ja'Marr Chase, and maybe he gets picked there if that's the case, but in this mock draft, Ja'Marr Chase is gone, and Penei Sewell here is the pick because you don't want your fucking starting quarterback getting railed like Riley Reid behind the offensive line. You want to know how you save that? You draft a plug-and-play tackle in Penei Sewell. At number 6, we have the Philadelphia Eagles. There is definitely some talk about them maybe drafting a quarterback. To me, finito, that's done. They just brought in the most elite quarterback to ever grace the NFL in Joe Flacco to be Jalen Hurts' backup. I combined Justin Fields and Jalen Hurts in my membrane for a second, but at 6 here, I think they end up drafting either a wide receiver or Kyle Pitts at this pick. I do really like Dallas Goedert as the tight end of the Eagles. It seems like Zach Ertz is gone and is going to end up being an Indianapolis Colt to reunite with Carson Wentz. But I think if I'm them, with Chase already gone, you draft the best player available. Kyle Pitts is a wide receiver with the tight end position on him. This guy is fucking amazing. If you look up any clips of Kyle Pitts, you will see this guy mossing dudes. You'll see him running fast as fuck. He's huge. He's crazy. He's like, I don't even know how to describe him. He's just that good. He is by far the best tight end I've seen come out of the NFL in a while. I love Kyle Pitts here, and I think this is a very good spot for him in Philly. Sadly, though, it does hurt. My Dallas Goedert is going to be great for fantasy football in 2021 takes. So Pitts will be the pick here at pick number 6 to the Philadelphia Eagles. If you guys have ended up enjoying this video thus far, please make sure to hit that subscribe button down below. Now here is where I see the trade happening here. The first trade of the video with the Detroit Lions. Now the Carolina Panthers are right there at 8, and I know the Panthers fans are going to be pissed here because they probably want Trey Lance, but I think someone is going to make a move. Now, which team will it be? To me, I think the Patriots Patriots could make this move, and I think the 49ers can make this move, but for the purposes of this mock draft, I think San Fran is done with Jimmy Guap, sexy Jimmy. Now, obviously, Jimmy Handsome did not end up going to the Patriots like many people thought. They thought that he would be the starting quarterback there. Obviously, they bring back Cam Newton. I don't think Cam Newton's the long-term option. I don't think Jimmy G's the long-term option. If you guys watch my video from yesterday where I talked about my rankings of NFL quarterbacks, I'm not that big of a Jimmy G or Cam Newton fan. So I'm going to go ahead here and say that the 49ers trade up with the Detroit Lions here to select their future quarterback here in Trey Lance. I just see this being exactly how the draft could play out. So obviously, I'm not some type of expert on exactly what you're going to need to trade to get this pick. So I'm going to say the 49ers send their first round pick, their second round pick, and next year's second round pick. Now, again, it may cost more than that. It may cost less than that. There may be players involved in this movement, but for the point of the trade going through, at least on here, I feel like this will be able to do it for the website to go ahead and push this through so that we can see them move. Okay, so the Lions make the trade with the 49ers. The 49ers move up and get this pick at number 7. Again, there will be probably players in the trade, and you just cannot do that on the Draft Network. So we are up here at 7 with the 49ers. They move up to get their guy, Trey Lance, out of North Dakota State. He obviously opted out this season, but he showed enough in 2019 to be a top 10 pick in the 2021 NFL Draft. I think that he fits way better than Jimmy Garoppolo in this system. I'm not sure if this means that Jimmy Garoppolo is now gone, if this means Jimmy Garoppolo is the backup, or if this means Trey Lance is the backup. I don't know, but with the system they run in San Francisco, a run-heavy system, when you have a quarterback that can do the RPOs, that can do these options, it makes the offense run so much more smoothly, and Trey Lance is the perfect fit in San Francisco. Now at number 8, we are going to get a little controversial here because I think we may actually see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 quarterbacks in the first 8 picks. Now, originally, when I saw someone do this, I thought this was crazy. But the more I thought about it, and the more I see the potential that the Carolina Panthers end up drafting the guy they were with at the Reese's Bowl that they were talking about loving in Mackie Mac Jones out of Alabama, I can just see it. I really can. Now, if they don't go with him, I think they just draft an O-tackle, hope fucking Teddy Roosevelt is fine, and then next year, hope they fell in the right spot to go ahead and get that quarterback. Maybe they get Deshaun Watson. Now, with all this stuff happening, there's up to 16, I don't know if it's lawsuits, but there's 16 things going against Deshaun Watson right now, women who have came out against him. I'm not sure what's going to happen with Deshaun Watson. He seemed like he was going to get traded, but now I have no idea. I don't know what's going to come from this. I don't know if this is going to be able to be resolved by next month when the NFL draft is happening. So that really threw a wrench into everything. So I think the Carolina Panthers get their guy. They get Mr. Mackie Mac Jones, quarterback out of Alabama, Heisman finalist, national championship winner, clipboard holder for Tua Tagovailoa in the past. Now, this guy is a top 10 pick just like Tua Tagovailoa. I love Tua. I like Mac Jones. I think there is potential for this to happen. Now, again, guys, don't get your panties in a bunch down below in the description or in the comment section. Don't be like, Nick, you fucking idiot, blah, 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 blah. Now, actually, I would, if you do that, it's fine because it's funny. I like to respond to stuff like that. But at the end of the day, I think this is possible. Call me crazy, but it is possible. At number 9, we see the Denver Broncos on the board now. They are just fucking John Elway is launching a cellular device, a telephone at the wall. He's pissed. He's like, fuck, I wanted Mac Jones. Now I'm stuck with a thumb up my ass because now they're done on the quarterbacks. They may want to get Deshaun Watson again. I'm not too sure, but I think they end up drafting someone on defense with this pick. They obviously could go with Rashawn Slater to shore up that offensive line, but I think they end up going with either an edge rusher, a cornerback, maybe, yeah, that's really it to me. And I think that now with the other cornerback, not J.C. Horn, let me pull up the list so I can get his name correctly, in Caleb Farley, he ended up getting back surgery, which is a bit worrisome. Now, I personally don't think this is going to be why teams don't draft him. I think teams will still invest in him, but obviously that's a little bit worrisome. I'm not sure exactly what it's called. Maybe if I click on him, it will say it. Of course not. You know, why would you want to know that when you're looking at him? Who cares? It's okay that they didn't say exactly exactly what it was, but he hurt his back. He's having surgery on it. Not the greatest for his draft stock. I still think, though, he's a first-round pick. So now it seems like Surtain will be that guy that goes to the Denver Broncos. Now at 10, the Dallas Cowboys are up, and if I'm being honest with you guys, I'm seeing a lot of people mocking Rashawn Slater to the Cowboys. I'm seeing Cowboys fans on Twitter saying, oh, if I'm the Cowboys and we're up, we're drafting Kyle Pitts. If the Cowboys draft Kyle Pitts instead of some defensive help, I legitimately will. If I was a Cowboys fan, I would stop fucking watching the games because Jerry Jones clearly is trying to sell jerseys and not win games. Dak will be amazing in this case, obviously. He's still going to be amazing. But with no defense, you need the defense to win these fucking games, and they won't have that if they draft Kyle Pitts. It is an idiotic take. I think they go corner. I legitimately do think that Caleb Farley will still be the guy here at this pick. I think the Cowboys are fine doing it, and I would be too. Again, if you want to pivot away, go with J.C. Horn, but to me, I think Caleb Farley should be good to go for the season based on what I've read, and I think he's the pick here to the Dallas Cowboys at number 11. Trouble in paradise for the New York Football Giants. They bring in Kyle Rudolph, the red-nosed reindeer, but allegedly he may need surgery. So does that void the contract? They just agreed on it. There was no pen to paper. So does that mean Rudolph is now gone? I don't know. They brought in Kenny Golladay. Does that rule out them drafting a wide receiver? To me, no. I do not think that rules it out, but I think what the Giants want here is someone on defense to build upon what they have that is great there. In a defense, they're bringing a lot of pieces in there. I think they could draft Azeez, but I'm actually whoop-de-whopping my own brain. And we're going to go with Jalen Waddle here. Have Golladay. Have no hands Evan Ingram. Potentially Kyle Rudolph. Darius Slayton. And now you're bringing Jalen Waddle. I understand, Nick, Darius Slayton and Jalen Waddle are kind of similar. Well, Jalen Waddle's better than Darius Slayton, so go ahead and draft this motherfucker. And now, there is no room for excuse for Daniel Jones. I talked about this on Twitter. You have all these shiny new pieces, and your quarterback can't read a fucking children's book. So how are you going to go ahead? He can't read Dr. Seuss or anything. So I'm not too sure how this is going to work, but no more excuses for Danny Dimes. I hope he ends up being good in 2021. At number 12, we have the Detroit Lions here. And to me, I think Lions fans would love if they drafted Devontae Smith here. I think they want that sexy wide receiver. Galladay's gone. Marvin Jones is gone. You have nothing. You have Jared Goff and a bunch of guys that aren't great. You bring in the Heisman man, Mr. 170, weighs in at 170 pounds. Some people are disliking that. Some people are like, you know what, he's the Slim Reaper. Who gives a fuck? I'm more on that standpoint. Both those wide receivers go back-to-back. Michael Jordan, 96-97 from Alabama. At number 13, the Chargers are up, and this is a no-brainer pick here. Bring in Rashawn Slater to shore up that offensive line. They just brought in a center. They brought in another piece of the offensive line. I think this is perfect. You draft a guy, and this guy should be good to go day one, and if maybe he needs a little more time, he needs to be the backup, even better, because then he's going to be able to learn, get better, and be great to protect Mr. Justin Herbert, Rookie of the Year. At number 14, we have the Minnesota Vikings, and here I could see a zillion teams moving up to this spot if they feel they need a guy, because I do not think the Vikings need to make a pick here. I think that the Minnesota Vikings will be perfectly fine trading this away. There's a lot of holes on the defense, so you could just wait. Personally, I think they end up going either Azeez Ojulari here or reaching up a little bit and selecting Elijah Vera Tucker, which is personally what I'm going to do, but don't be surprised if they end up making a trade here with a team looking to move up. Now, obviously, in this scenario, seems a bit impossible because Mac Jones is already gone, but if Mac Jones is still there, if Jones is there, we could definitely see some movement there. So we're going to go with Elijah Vera Tucker, interior offensive lineman out of USC, to protect Mr. You Like That, Kirk Cousins, and Mr. Dalvin Cook. At 15, the Patriots are up. They're not going to get their quarterback of the future with this pick. Maybe they trade for Mono Man Sam Darnold. Again, you never know. So we're going to go ahead and draft them a linebacker. I think that obviously with Van Noy returning, that's good, but Van Noy's not the long-term option. But y'all know who is? Linebacker out of Penn State, Micah Parsons. This dude's an absolute fucking unit. He is going to be able to be good in pass coverage as well as rushing the quarterback. I like Micah Parsons a lot. I think that if you are a Patriots fan, you want a wide receiver, but Rashad Bateman's like 5'7". Now that's nothing against him. Still really good. He's like 5'7". They already have like 6,000 5'7" guys on their team. So I think they go ahead and go with a linebacker at this pick, obviously. And the best one on the board still is going to be Mr. Micah Parsons out of Penn State. Next up at 16, we have the Arizona Cardinals. Now, I'm going to be honest with you, I kind of like them going running back here. They get rid of Kenyon Drake. Does that mean that this is what they want to do? Their defense just lost Patrick Peterson. They do kind of need help on the secondary. So I think cornerback is also an option. I think that's ultimately what they do, and they select J.C. Horn here. Now, based upon the news, though, that Caleb Farley is hurt. It is entirely possible that the Cowboys picked Horn there, and then this pick is Farley. But again, I think they want to go ahead and get a corner, build more of this defense. They just brought in J.J. Watt. They have a very strong offense. So yeah, I'm pretty confident in Mr. J.C. Horn here going to the Cardinals. But obviously, if you're a fantasy guy, you want the sexy pick, it'll be Najee Harris. But I think Chase Edmonds can hold his own as like an all-right running back for the Arizona Cardinals team. At number 17, I should say, we have the Las Vegas Raiders up to bat here, and they need offensive tackle. They literally lost pretty much everyone. The fucking line is decimated like my asshole after I eat too much Chipotle. So I'm going to go ahead here. But shout out to Chipotle, because if they want to send me that burrito card, I'd love to eat those burritos every day. I fucking love Chipotle. Sometimes, though, you get the Chipotle shits. You know, it is what it is. But back to the actual purpose of the video. I like Darisaw here to go to the Raiders. They bring in Kenyon Drake for some fucking reason. I don't know what John Gruden's thinking. They drafted Josh Jacobs. They're paying Kenyon Drake all this money. You don't need two great running backs. I mean, Kenyon Drake's not even that great anymore. So I'm not too sure what Mr. Gruden is thinking, but I do think that he's going to draft Christian Darisaw here at 17. At number 18, my Miami Dolphins are on the board here, and I think it's open for the Dolphins to do anything. I think we drafted, obviously, Jamar Chase with the 3 overall pick, so that could mean that the Dolphins are looking to run away, not go more offense, because obviously Brian Flores is the defensive-minded coach. He's very smart at that. That's why this defense was literally butt-fucking teams all season long. We saw Pat Mahomes throw a zillion interceptions against them. The defense is unreal, but don't be surprised if they add Azeez Ojulari here. Don't be surprised if they draft Kwity Paye. Don't be surprised. Don't be surprised. But as a Dolphins fan, I'm going to do what I want to do. It is what it is. Najee Harris coming to Miami. Welcome to Miami. The Dolphins in free agency decide to shove their thumb directly up their ass and not bring in Aaron Jones or Chris Carson or any of the guys that I wanted, but it is what it is. We got Will Fuller, who I like. Hopefully he can stay off the PEDs and stay healthy, and hopefully Najee Harris and Tua are going to be banging defenses just like they did in Alabama. Shout out to Mr. Najee Harris. Sadly, for Salvin Ahmed, who I like, as well as for Myles Gaskin, but Harris is the future of Miami. At number 19, the Washington football team is up on the clock. They have their quarterback for this year in Fitzpatrick, so, I mean, there's no way Kyle Trask, in my opinion, gets picked this high. It is possible, definitely, by the next team. You know, they're kind of known to, the Bears are known to, you know, slip up a little and draft the wrong quarterback in the first round. Shout out to Kissin' Titties, Mitchell Trubisky, now the backup for Josh Allen, the clipboard holder. At 19, I like the Washington football team to just play it safe, to draft an offensive tackle, but it seems like they might go linebacker here. There is a beautiful linebacker still available, and that is Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah out of Notre Dame, and I think that is what they could do. They could also go offensive line, because you can never judge someone when they draft a tackle in the first round. It's not sexy at all, but it's what gets the job done to protect Ryan Fitzpatrick, but I think they go with JOK here at number 19. At number 20, the Chicago Bears are up, and they're going to be drafting Kyle Trask. I'm just fucking with you guys, but don't be surprised if they do some full dumbass stuff here at number 20. I'm going to go ahead here at 20 and just assume that now they franchise tagged, and he signed the franchise tag, Allen Robinson, but how sure are we that he's even going to play there with Andy Dalton? I mean, this guy has gone through everything. He's had fucking Blake Bortles be his starting quarterback. He has had Nick Foles. He has had Kissin' Titties, Mitchell Trubisky. He should be sick that Andy Dalton is his starting quarterback. But maybe he is there and they don't go wide receiver. I wouldn't be surprised if they drafted Rashad Bateman. but I think they end up just being safe and drafting one of these offensive tackles. Now, again, not an offensive tackle, fucking sharp, so call me what you want. I think Jenkins, Mayfield, Cosme, all pretty solid players. Want to go ahead and go with the best guy available on here in Tevin Leroy Jenkins, offensive tackle of Oklahoma State, who's making a run in the March Madness tournament at number 21. 21, we got the Indianapolis Colts here, and for the Colts, I think they also might want to go O-tackle, but don't be surprised if they draft a corner here. There is Greg Newsome from Northwestern, who seems to be severely underrated, and I think that's where we're going to go ahead here and add more to this Indianapolis Colts defense with a corner that's pretty underrated out of Northwestern, who looked very good in a lot of the tape that I saw on him. Seems like potentially a lockdown corner. Now, I'm not saying he's like fucking Darrelle Revis or something, but he looks pretty good. At number 22, we have the Indianapolis Colts. Now that Newsome is gone, I don't feel as though the Titans would reach up and potentially draft a guy like Aaron Robinson, Eric Stokes, or Asante Samuel Jr. So we're going to go ahead here and assume that the Titans draft a wide receiver because they got rid of Corey Davis, now a New York Football Jet, who just so happens to be selecting next. So I think that if I'm the Titans, I'm going to be picking Rashad Bateman here. I understand he's short. Maybe it'll tell us exactly. 6'1". I thought I read that he was 5'7". Am I just capping completely? That's Rondell Moore. I completely mixed it up, I believe. I did mix it up. I apologize from earlier on in the video when I said that. I know I'm going to get some comments like, Nick, you fucking idiot, because I missaid the guy's name. I like Rondell Moore as well out of Purdue. It says 5'9" on here, but I believe I read that he weighed in. He measured in at 5'7". But I'm going to go with Rashad Bateman here out of Minnesota. I think he fits very well with this Les Titans team because besides A.J. Brown, they don't really have any other pass-catching options there. And we know Derrick Henry is down tremendous when it comes to catching the ball. Next up, we got the Jumbo Jets, and to me, this is a no-brainer. They draft Azeez Ojulari. He fell all the way back here, edge rusher out of Georgia. The Jets need defensive help. The wide receivers are kind of gone. The top-end guys, obviously, Terrence Marshall, Kadarius Toney, have potential to be first-round picks, but I don't think they end up going here, and I think that the Jets play it simple. Love, live, Azeez Ojulari. Next up here at 24, we have the Steelers, which is a potential Travis Etienne landing spot. Not necessarily sure they do that, though. I think they just play it safe and draft offensive tackle Samuel Cosme out of Texas. But the sexy pick there is, if James Conner is gone, that they end up drafting Etienne there, because that would be fantasy. Magnifique. At number 25, we have the Jacksonville Jaguars up on the board, and I think they are also kind of in the mindset of just being safe and drafting an offensive tackle in Jalen Mayfield. They just brought in Marvin Jones of the Detroit Lions. They have DJ Chark, baby Chark, baby Chark. They have Laviska Shenault, who they drafted last season. I think they're very confident in drafting a guy like Liam Eichenberg or Jalen Mayfield at this pick. At number 26, the Cleveland Browns are available, and I think they want an edge rusher at this pick. Kwity, we paid, is available at this pick. Edge rusher out of Michigan. Now, obviously, Michigan has been down tremendous as of the last 7,000 years, it seems like, when it comes to college football, but Kwity Paye is a tremendous talent there, and going next to Myles Garrett, this is going to be very dangerous, and the Browns defense is on the up and up. Next up here, we have the Baltimore Ravens. Now, they need a wide receiver. They do. And they're going to take Kadarius Toney here. They need a fucking wide receiver. Terrence Marshall also could be a pick. He's taller, so maybe they look to draft him, which is what we will do here, instead of Kadarius Toney due to the height difference, because Hollywood Brown is not all that tall. I hope that they bring in Antonio Brown to the Baltimore Ravens, but man, oh man, their wide receiver core fucking sucks. Lamar is getting thrown under the river for all this. Sure, they could draft edge rusher. They could go with safety because there is a safety projected, Trayvon Moring, to be a first-round pick. I'm not too sure that entirely happens, so I think we go ahead here and be safe and play with Kadarius Marshall, wide receiver of the LSU Tigers. At number 28, we have the New Orleans Saints here, who are up to bat. Now, they could definitely be a Kadarius Toney landing spot here. I think that they could go edge rusher as well. A lot of guys still available. Jalen Phillips, Gregory Rousseau, and personally, I think that's what they end up doing. Don't be surprised, though, if they end up drafting Kadarius Toney at this pick. So I'm going to go with Gregory Rousseau, edge rusher out of Miami. Now, it's kind of a pick your poison there. Both guys from Miami. Obviously, if you guys watch college football, Mr. Gregory Rousseau opted out in 2020, which really made it possible for Jaelan Phillips to get a lot more eyes on him in the ACC in Miami. Jaelan Phillips really broke out in 2020, and I can see him definitely being drafted higher than Rousseau, but for my draft here, we're going to go with him to the Saints. With the Packers up here at 29, the Packers seem to just do whatever the fuck they want in the first round. You want a wide receiver last year, Mims is on the board, all these guys are on the board, and they say, fuck you, we're drafting Jordan, love me tender, love me sweet, out of Utah State. Now they want a receiver. They want Kadarius Toney. They want Rashad Bateman. They want whoever is available at this pick. I understand Bateman's been picked. They want whoever, but they're not going to get that guy. The Packers will tease your balls as a Packers fan. They will fucking grab you by the balls and rip one out, and you'll end up looking like Lance Armstrong. So we are up here at 29. They're not going receiver. They're going to play it safe. And they're drafting a tackle in Liam Eichenberg. Don't be surprised, though. Actually, we're going to go corner here, and they're going to draft Eric Stokes out of Georgia because I think that's a little too early for Mr. Eichenberg out of Notre Dame. At number 30, the Buffalo Bills are available here, and I want them to draft Travis Etienne. I want them to smash that fucking pick like I wanted to smash Megan Fox when I was 11 years old. But at the end of the day, we don't all get what we want. And this is great landing spot, but they have enough running backs there to get it done for real-life purposes. So we are going to go ahead here and select Jaelan Phillips, who falls perfectly into the hands of the Buffalo Bills here at pick number 30. Next up at number 31, the team they beat to go to the Super Bowl, the Kansas City Chiefs. I know the mans in the comments always loves for the Chiefs to draft a running back here with Leonard Fournette potentially gone. Maybe it's possible. I think they believe in Rojo, so I don't think it's going to happen for this draft. We're going to go ahead here and say they select a wide receiver. Sammy Watkins is gone. Maybe now a Raven. Maybe not. Even if he is a Raven, I still think they could pick Terrence Marshall. We're going to go ahead and select Kadarius Toney, wide receiver out of Florida. And at pick number 32, not the Buffalo Bills, you silly goose. At number 32, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are available. And we're going with the easiest pick ever, Christian Barrymore, interior defensive lineman out of Alabama. So that's about it. If you guys want to go ahead and read through all this, I will scroll down as I give the outro, but thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys did end up enjoying at any point in this video, please make sure that you hit that subscribe button down below. I would really appreciate it. I put a lot of work into these drafts, and I will be putting more out as we get closer to the 2021 NFL Draft. If I say it enough, the video will get skyrocketed because of the buzzwords via SEO. 2021 NFL Draft and the NFL Draft in 2021. So have a great rest of your guys' day. I love you guys all. See you beautiful bastards tomorrow with another banger of a video. As always, guys, stay safe. I do love you guys all. Means a lot, the support I've been seeing, and I hope that you guys continue to put in all the support, and I hope that you guys have been enjoying. Again, if you don't like this video, check out something else. I mean, you made it all the way through 35 minutes, 30-something minutes, so you probably like me. Wink, wink. I like you. Do you guys remember that when you were in, like, middle school? It's like, do you like me or do you like me? That's the kind of deal. I'm hoping you guys like me because I like you guys. Thank you guys for watching. I love you guys all. Stay safe. Happy Tuesday. Goodbye.